Hello, my friends on YouTube. Today is Sunday, the 13th of August 2023. Today's video for grown up only. So if you have somebody underage, tell them to leave the room. Today's video is effing Maria the Copt. Yes, I'm using that word because it's actually what is practically used in Arabic. The Prophet of Allah was effing Maria the Copt. We are going to explain. Before I start, I'm going to speak about, to put this to rest, because as I was trying to make the video, there are many people who are bending the verses and story to make the founder of Islam innocent of the filth that it's in this story. So I will direct you to read a Quranic chapter. It's not very long. The whole chapter is 12 verses, and I suggest you read it because it will give you an insight. Because these people, they are educated in Azhar University, which is an Islamic university, and therefore they are trying to twist the situation and make it that no, that's not right. It is right. Otherwise, why this Quranic chapter came? Of course, the founder of Islam says that the angel came to him with that, but I suggest to read the whole thing because practically you could see through the verse that it is nonsense, practically nonsense. God is blaming or kind of admonishing this guy who proclaimed himself as a prophet. Why you stopped effing Maria the Copt? I gave you permission. Go and do. And if you don't, if these women, your wives, complain, divorce them. I'll give you better wives, more faithful, more obedient. I'm giving you permission to F Maria the Copt. So go ahead. That is practically the Quranic chapter. And it ends up, I don't know why, he ends it up with Mary, the mother of Jesus. And it says, in the translation, it says Mary who guarded or protected her chastity. However, in Arabic, that is not the word used. The word used, who protected her vaginal opening. Practically, vaginal opening. I'm going to put you that I put the whole verse, that verse in Google Translate, and it says, out of courtesy, it says chastity, and I took that same word and I put it in the bottom, and you can see the translation. Out of courtesy, also Google is not putting the exact meaning. You have to know the culture and the Arabic language to know that he means in this verse the vaginal opening. It's disgusting what it should be in a holy book, supposed to be. So we have to ask the question, who is this Mary the Copt? The word Copt, actually, all Egyptian, that was their name in the ancient language, were all Copt, Egyptian. I think the word Egypt comes from Copt, Egypt. So anyway, the people, all of us were Copt. However, it's now used for the Christian who maintain their identity as Egyptian, and they paid jizya to the Muslim invaders. They paid to stay Christian. So that woman, there was no invasion at this moment. Egypt was still Egypt. The governor of Alexandria, he sent 2 slave sisters and a slave man as a gift to the founder of Islam. And until now, head of states give presents or gifts to other head of state. And oftentimes it's art, something to be appreciated. And probably that was the same thing in the past, art, a statue, a painting, and so on and so forth. However, with the founder of Islam, he wouldn't know a good painting or a statue. He may think it's a god. Anyway, so I'm sure the governor of Alexandria, he had to find out what is this man's head like, so that he will send him what pleases him. Art wouldn't be considered as a good gift to this person. What will he consider as a very valuable and good gift? Sex. So until today, until this very day, all palaces, presidential and kingly, they have women for men and men for women, by the way. Okay, not that I want to smear anybody, but Princess Diane, she used to have her boyfriend come to stay overnight with her, a Pakistani doctor, and also that the son of an Egyptian businessman who died with her in the accident. So this is not new. They do that. And there are always pretty girls there for the service of somebody who wants to have a sexual relationship. So that's known in the past and until today. So who would the governor of Alexandria send to this guy, and why? He will not send him a slave to help him to carry his stuff, because he has many of these. Even he has many girls. It has to be a special girl. So when you read the story, it's really sickening, because that woman, Maria, he didn't send, I mean, Egypt back then, Egypt was a Christian nation. Okay? He didn't send somebody from the Alexandria convent to teach him about love and forgiveness and the Christian teaching. No. He's not interested in that. He wants sex. So he had to send somebody who knows much about sex. So this girl, Maria the Copt, and her sister were working in the palace in Alexandria. And she was working there because she was good in what she is doing. Okay? So they sent her to the Prophet of Allah. So she went there, and that's Mary. She is a woman who knows how to please a man. And the story, when you read it, the Prophet of Allah used to steal himself to her place day and night. And Aisha narrate that he was exhausted. He was not able to walk. And you wonder what was she doing to him to make him that exhausted. Exhausted. Unable to walk. And he used to run away like a small boy, going to steal some candy or something, or cookie. Stay with her. But one day, because he couldn't control himself, he sent his wife, one of his wives, her name was Hafsa. Hafsa was the daughter of the second caliphate. And that caliphate, he had a heavy sword, and the Prophet of Allah knew that very well. So he wouldn't mess around with him. So he told that wife, go and visit your father. So the woman, by the way, he used to visit, like sleep in one of each wife's home one night, like go around them. If he had 12 or 13 wives, he would go one night each and then start all over again. So that was her night. So she was happy. Her husband is staying with her. So he sends her to her father to visit him. And somehow she came back quickly, and she caught him in bed, in the act. And I don't know exactly what she had done, but you could imagine she must have screamed her head off. And he was telling her, be quiet, be quiet. I will never do that again. And then she tells him to swear by Allah. That means she didn't trust him. So there was no God or holiness or religion. She didn't believe what he was saying. She said, swear that you will not do that again. And he did. But then, I guess reflecting on the pleasure he had with Maria the Copt, he couldn't hold it. So he called on Gabriel, the angel of Allah, to find him a way. Now he swore that he's not going to touch Maria again, Maria the Copt. But the desire is there. So what does he do? Gabriel send him that Quranic chapter, the 12 verses that I suggest to read them, and read the different translation, and you can kind of like see what was happening there during this time. So basically Allah had nothing to do in the whole universe except pleasing Muhammad's sexual desire. So Allah sent him that verse starting, O Prophet, why you forbid yourself from enjoying this young girl from Egypt, Maria the Copt. You listen to these women, they are not behaving well, and you know what? If they don't behave well, I will let you divorce them, and you will marry much better women. Some of them virgin, some have experience. This literally in the book. Some with experience. So, and by the way, they are more faithful. And these women, I will send them to hell. And you go ahead and see yourself with Maria the Copt. You are enjoying it. I'm happy that you're enjoying her. So go ahead. So we know before, I spoke about that in one of the videos, that Aisha, the one that was caught with the guy in the desert, Ibn al-Mu'attal, Safwan ibn al-Mu'attal, they spent one night in the desert by themselves. I mean, if there is a God and holiness and why do you commit adultery? And the same, they knew that there was, all of them, the wives as well as the disciples, the followers of this guy, they knew it's a business and it's an opportunity for them. The women getting all these jewelry and money and influence, and the guys too. They're getting money, they're getting girls, women. They go and invade and they get these, capture the women, they get boys as slaves. So there is benefit. And he told them also, when you die, you will have more. So when Hafsa, the wife of Muhammad, saw him with Maria the Copt in bed, in the act, she screamed. He asked her to stop screaming and he will do whatever she wants and he will never touch Maria the Copt again. But he asked her, he begged her not to tell anybody. Of course she told. But again, if you are asking her and begging her not to tell anybody, it means you know quite well that you are doing wrong. Because by the Arabian people tradition at this time, this is a filthy act. A master of a home, if you're a wealthy merchant and you have servants in your home, they know it is a dishonor for the master of the house to get involved with a servant girl, regardless of how beautiful this girl may be. You can marry another wife, yes, but she's a wife. But to go around running like a teenage boy doing this, even teenage boys don't do like that. Kids don't do that stuff. It's shameful. So he knew, by the standard of Arabian honorable people in Arabia at this time, he was doing a shameful act. That's why he wanted her to be quiet. And he was promising her he will never touch Mary the Copt again. But of course, once the situation passed, he could not stay away from Maria the Copt. And in the reading I read, it says that she was white with curly hair, a beautiful girl. And add to her beauty, of course she was, it says she was white, and he was crazy about white girls. There's hadith, it says invade Tabuk, which like a city in the north, with white girls. Invade Tabuk, you will have your reward of the blonde girls. Your reward will be the blonde girls. And he himself always referred to himself as a white man. Arabians are not really white. Arabians are kind of like brownish, olive colors. The olive color skin. So he was, if he was white, we don't know his mother, where did she conceive him from? Maybe a European guy was visiting her. Who knows? But he was always bragging that he was white. And he was very crazy about white girls. And Egypt, the governor of Egypt, he knew that, so he sent him a light-skinned girl with curly hair. So that is the Prophet of Allah. Add to that, this lady, Maria the Copt, she conceived. and she delivered a boy to him. That we can make another video about that. His name was Abraham. He died, and there is question mark around his death. That is another, maybe we can make that video next week. So what do we learn from this? We learn that Muhammad knew there was no Allah, there is no God, there is no Gabriel, there is no nothing, revelation. His wives knew that. His close followers, they knew that. But there was benefit to all of them, financial benefit. If there was holiness, Aisha wouldn't spend one night. She arranged it the way it happened. She arranged to stay one night with a young guy in the desert, alone. Because she couldn't do it in her home. It would be a big problem. Muhammad himself, he knew it would be a big problem, but he had influence. But when he was caught, and we don't know how many times he did that with other women, he was caught at this time, and at this time he had to ask help from Gabriel, his imaginary friend, to help him with a couple of Quranic verses. He invented a couple of verses, and it is so clear when you read the whole thing that he is threatening. He is threatening his wives. If you don't, he actually kind of like divorced them for a month. He left them alone and he stayed with Maria the Copt, only taking care of her. And he told them, if you continue this behavior and you don't let me fulfill my sexual desire with this young girl, I'm going to divorce you all. And Allah will send me, will give me better women, more faithful than you, and you will go to hell. Read the whole verse, and please comment and share. Thank you very much. We hope to hear from you.